in a battle of two more of our team fighting for the top. Team OOD are right now currently holding sole possession of second place. SGR sitting there in fourth.
Yeah, I mean, with these two teams, we'll probably see like a pretty even matchup and probably a pretty aggressive play style from both of these teams. We'll, of course, have to see how these drafts play out, but both of these teams are pretty evenly matched and have the potential to pop off from their lanes, especially seeing that Django was the MVP. Last week, we saw his explosive Jax performance. We'll see if OOD will put him on a top lane carry. As we all know, Street Smurf, being a regular in this tournament, always has the potential to pop off on his control mages in the mid lane.
Yeah, he is a monster. He reminds me of Jizuke a lot. Like, you flip game starts, you flip a coin in the air, you either get Feed Smurf or Dumpster Smurf, which is when he just dumpsters on everybody. And we'll have to see which Street Smurf we get today. Man has shown some mighty fine plays over the years over the seasons in our league. And as we see the draft getting already into the first couple of picks, we got AD carry and jungle for these teams. Gonna see where SGR goes forward from here.
Yeah, I mean, the Volibear pickup, not a very prominent pickup in the last couple of patches, but is seeing a little bit of a resurgence back in the jungle on the top side. And from the side of SGR, it looks like the Lucian is actually picked up. Seeing a little bit of popularity, the Lucian being a little bit more popular in the last couple of weeks, in the last patches. Might just be a pocket pick, but we also did see it last game, and it was paired with Leona. Looks like it's also paired with Leona this game. Looks like more of a dominant lane type of style that SGR is looking to play.
Yeah, they're looking for that early game aggression, trying to set this Tristana that OOD is drafted behind. Tristana will be such a terror if it is able to get ahead. So good idea to draft that right there as we see the top laner coming out from SGR. I was really hoping you saw the Leona hover over Aurelion. I was really hoping we'd see an Aurelion. I don't think we've actually ever seen it in the leagues yet. I have to have that fact checked. I don't remember early season 1, but I don't often see that. It would have been kind of cool. But focus back on what we have now.
Yeah, Aurelion was definitely played probably by my former teammate Burst Limit, a personal favorite of his. Speaking of personal favorites, the Camille's actually walked in from SGR. A fairly good blind pick, but seeing as Malphite has been a popular pick in the last couple of weeks, I wouldn't be surprised if OOD takes it. And if not, I'd like to see SGR ban it. Because it looks like they're confident that this Volibear isn't top lane as they banned out the Jax. Which is a good safe pick, considering Django tore it up last week.
Yeah, you look like an absolute beast on that Jax, so good for SGR realizing that, taking that out, taking out the Shen too. Don't want to give any safety for this Tristana to have. Kayn also, so it's just a mid jungle ban. I don't know if SGR has been really practicing the Kayn as much, but I mean, we saw the Kayn last game. It was pretty terrifying. I definitely don't want that to come back through here, especially with a squishy 80 carry.
Yeah, I mean, looks like a lot of their comp is being rounded out around the Tristana at this point from OOD. Nautilus being a nice counter matchup into the Leona. It looks like they're just going to play to survive, maybe even get a little bit of an advantage in that lead in lane. Because, I mean, Tristana does outscale the Lucian. And without the early pressure, that Tristana doesn't really have to worry about the engage from Leona. One, because the Nautilus can kind of play as a stopgap in between the two, and Tristana is really safe with that W. But if we talk a little bit less about this bot lane, we talk a little bit more about the last two picks from OOD with the Sylas and the Malphite. How do you feel about this?
I actually think that's a really solid pickup. I mean, Sylas is a champion I always think is a good pickup, especially later in the draft. He can grab so many ultimates here. He's got the Leona ultimate. He can grab the Camille one if they want to just lock down a target. He can take the Evelyn one for a quick escape. And now with the Cassiopeia drafted into him, that's another free ult for engage. It's a really good setup. I think the Malphite's also really good. OOD's engage is absolutely insane. You have a Malphite engage, you have a Volibear with the engage with the Nautilus, you've got Sylas can try to get something if he grabs with the Camille too. They're going to just dogpile onto SGR, and I'm a little confused by SGR's draft, especially with the Evelyn pickup.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by SGR's draft. I do favor OOD's draft as well with the amount of engage and the amount of actually just disengage as well with the Nautilus and the Tristana being able to play safe and just play back. Although a lot of their damage is from the Tristana. So that is a fault in their comp unless the Sylas gets really ahead. From SGR side, you kind of have like a little bit of both. You have a little bit of team fight, you have a little bit of dive, you have a little bit of hard engage. But what you don't, and your main scaling is component is going to be Cassiopeia. But if all in all, I feel like OOD has the better rounded draft.
Yeah, I feel like SGR, like he says, it's kind of just a bit of everything. There's nothing it really specializes in. And I think when it comes down to it, unless they start snowballing early, it's going to be painful for them in later fights. They're going to have a hard time tearing through this line on anything that isn't named Cassiopeia. But we'll have to see how they do as we get into game, our last game of the day, OOD versus SGR. Also had it pointed out to me by the technical side that it is actually OOD is tied for third right now, or has sole possession of third, sorry, and SGR is sole possession of fifth. So just move them down a couple positions from where I had them at. But a win for both of these teams will move them up a position in the standing.
It's always good to see, especially when the games are this tight. A win over your opponent will net you a better seeding in playoffs.
Yeah, and you want to have that. You don't want to end up playing the ugly barnacles, but SGR getting caught out already. Hipate has to run away, and he's going to be potting out of there as Photograph flashes over the wall and gets the first blood.
You see this little bit of a scouted read. It looks like OOD kind of just 5-man invades. Finds Hayate coming out, pathing up to the top side. It's punished. Nice flash by Anshin to keep him in place. And Photograph, knowing the damage limits. Unfortunately, he has to flash, but is able to finish off that kill for first blood.
Yeah, and that's 400 gold in the pocket of the Tristana. She's probably going to grab a dagger on that back, or a longsword, but I'm guessing a longsword. Give herself that little bit of an edge in lane. Actually, yep, there it is. Longsword coming through from the Tristana. And now it's, SGR needs to get an early advantage in this bottom lane. It's going to be kind of hard when you've got a Tristana already with 1 kill.
Yeah, I mean, ends up getting the longsword 2 pots. Well, it'll be a little bit annoying to deal with, but I mean, if SGR can make a quick level 2 play, I feel like they can punish the Tristana, especially not having flash.
Yeah, and they're hiding out in the bush right now, hoping one of them will come over and ward it. Minion wave just arrived. It's going to be, outside of that invade, it's pretty solid just farming pattern, I'm going to guess, from these teams. Everyone on OOD has an assist. They've got, 50 gold in their pocket, each of them. Maybe if they have to back, they'll have that room for that extra potion.
Of course, and something I want to point out is that was probably due to the reasoning behind OOD's 5-man top way is Hayate actually opted out of the flash and is actually taking Ignite.
Oh yes, I see that now. So he's going to be it's going to be a very hard matchup for him, especially if he's engaged and then gets ganked following his E. Like you said, he doesn't have flash. It means everything he does is a one-way trip. It's one way out or one way in. He's not going to go the other, but he's deciding to go in right now as he's dueling Django. Django getting pretty low right there. Hipate does have the 2. Oh, he's going to flash it out, but hang on, he's getting it. Oh, he's getting so low, but Hipate grabs a return kill. His vengeance is secured.
Yeah, I mean, Django just gets a little too comfortable there. It might have been a little bit of a pathing mistake, but looks like we're going to have a little bit of a pause first. But I mean... Excuse me, but as I finished my point, as what I was saying, on the top side, that kill goes through, just kind of a little bit, maybe a pathing mistake from Django. Also feeling, maybe suspecting that he might get another grasp proc off, maybe thinking he can take the 1v1. Just barely, as we saw the health bars were pretty much 50-50. At that point, 50 HP, that being on both sides, and one more auto attack from the Q cancel of the Camille just nets him that kill.
Yeah, and it also was the level 2 advantage. Hipate got it right before Django, so he had a little bit more he could work with in that fight. I think if it had been an even matchup, it would have gone in favor of the Malphite, been able to get maybe another rotation of his abilities off. But that's good. SGR is getting back into it. It wasn't where we thought they would get back into it so far, but again, it is working out. The teleport coming through from Django to get back to his lane, so he is down both of his summoner spells right now, and he's going to have to be a little bit safer this time around. Camille just going to walk back. Hipate knows he's going to need that teleport to assist his team later on. And actually, nope, I take that back. He's just teleporting right in. And it's now no teleports on the top side. Only teleports are in the mid lane.
Yeah, at this point, he just TPs in to try to just keep the pressure on. Just trying to make sure his wave's in a good spot. The downside about having Camille with the Ignite is, one, the flash engages aren't going to be coming through where you can just try to find a long distance engage. As I say that, looks like the roam is coming up from SGR, spotting Soxmus out, not denying him that crab, but due to this, it looks like a skirmish is going to happen in the river.
Yeah, Antunes is robed up here too. Now Frozen going in onto Soxmus. Soxmus getting low. He has been ignited in. Frozen grabs the kill onto Soxmus. Big Drake trying to grab something right there. He's going to go down. The Evelyn goes down as Kaipo gets taken out. Now Frozen's been captured too. He gets jumped forward on by Photograph. Photograph trying to grab something here. Gets the kill. It's actually Antunes taking it right there. Now Antunes buying time. Street Smurf going to get 1v1 double kill going over for this Nautilus. And Warplaque's going to grab Photograph's kill. A 3-for-3 trade in a very messy fight around the Dragon Pit.
Yeah, I mean, you can see from this initial play, you can see the thinking behind SGR. Scouting out Soximus, getting the lane advantage, getting the push, and just calling over their bot lane. But in the end, it looks like their mid laner was pushed out, Street Smurf, and was a little late to the play. And due to this, SGR members are just able to dish out the damage. Not SGR members, excuse me. The opposing side's members were able to dish out the damage and just put SGR in an unfavorable spot.
Yeah, OOD was doing quite a bit of work back there. They got a Kaipo there. They lost both the jungler and the mid laner, but as we saw, Photograph and Antunes doing such good work. The kills went on to Antunes instead of Photograph, so they can't keep that snowball going on the Tristana. But, I think early that actually works out. It's going to let him buy those boots to roam, or he's going to grab some more tank items, get closer to grabbing that locket possibly, and be provide a little bit more safety for his team. It's early enough in the game. I always think of like pre 6 minutes or so, it's okay to give the support a lot of those kills because support's honestly it's very rare for them to get past one item at this point in my experience. Like if your team isn't monstrously ahead, you're probably going to get 1 or 2 items at most. So getting them early means that you can spend a little bit more time being useful to your team and hitting your power spike. But OD now just kind of clearing things out. SGR getting that deep vision on the top side. They're worried that gank might come through up there. And on this bottom side still, the Tristana still has 2 kills overall. Now Warplaque's getting engaged on. Tristana trying to grab another shot. It comes through. It's going to need 1 more. It's going to get in range. It's not going to quite be there, so they're going to turn on to Frozen. Now Frozen's on the run. Antune's going to get the hook, but it's going to go just short. It's going to hit the wall right there. And SGR is going to get out by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, I mean, SGR playing that fight a little bit too aggressively. I think Lucian was feeling a little good because he had the double buffs on him, but I mean, the damage from Photograph is no joke. He has a pickaxe up before Lucian had ended up taking that back, and the damage was real. You could see it. Warplaque was 1 hit away, but something you may not have noticed was the actual tech he did with the ward. And because Photograph was within auto range, he kind of placed a ward right in front of him to get into auto attack, and it was just fell short.
Yep, Soximus and Big Twig trying to go onto Street Smurf. They back off right there. Big Twig taking quite a bit of damage in that. Almost looked like they were going to go for something, but Miasma dissuades them. Frozen appearing dissuades them. And like you were saying, though, smart word placement from Warplaque.
Yeah, it looks like Antunes and Soxmus kind of stayed around knowing that Street Smurf doesn't have flash, but I mean, it's kind of sniffed out from Street Smurf respecting the gank and just going to take a back now and take a reset considering he doesn't have flash and the members of OOD are hanging around.
Yeah, now these teams right now, they're basically dead or even. It's about 200 gold or 100 gold difference, 200 or so. It's just like a potion, like one of those little green refillable pots. So if you are on the side of OOD, what is your next play right here? And then inversely, what is the play for SGR? Where are you looking to try to get your leads going and try to like claw a bigger one over your opponents?
I'm going to start with SGR just because I feel like their win condition comes on a little bit sooner. I want to see the Evelyn kind of just power farming. She's kind of been dragged into a lot of these skirmishes where she's not favored into the Volibear, where they've tried to contest the Scuttle Crab early, which really kind of just put her behind, set her behind in the farming. Whereas if Volibear can't find any ganks early or find the Evelyn early and disrupt the pathing, and the Evelyn can kind of get some ganks off and hit 6, her pressure will just be way more than what Volibear can do. He's kind of just slow. He's good at skirmishing, but unless he finds anyone, he's not going to be really effective. So I want the Evelyn kind of just to power farm, try to look for picks, even diving the Malphite because of her AP ratios and the ultimate and how it works. It's just a really easy dive onto the Malphite. And just kind of see more group play, finding like one-on-one picks and extending their gold lead through that way.
Yeah, that is. I would agree. I think the Evelyn is the key factor in getting this game going for SGR. Now, on the side of OOD, though, what are they looking for in this moment? Where are they trying to find lead? Is it through Soxus, or is it through maybe Big Twig trying to roam around the map somewhere?
On the side of OOD, I'm going to stifle my point that right now because it looks like Django's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, Django is dueling. Hippote doesn't see him, but now he knows he has been spotted. The ult coming through. Django gets the flash. He's going to get out, but Street Smurf's on the hunt too. 3 people from SGR, but it's the Mountain that gets out with a rock-solid escape.
Yeah, I mean, a good look from SGR, but on the other hand, the push and pull of the game has gone the other way. OOD has noticed this. So Django's bought so much time that the Dragon just gets taken for free on the side of OOD.
Yes, first Drake of the game going over to OD. We saw a similar thing happen in the one of our previous games. The top lane, it was with RLS. Top lane gets dived, goes down, to go bottom and grab the turret, the dragon. This time, though, doesn't cost the top laner their life. The Malphite manages to escape this time.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the great things about playing weak side. You just survive and you're actually being effective.
Right in onto Warplaque. Warplaque getting solo already. He has to jump right out, though. Frozen is on the hunt. He smells blood. He smells the stun. And now Hippote grabs himself a fried Yordle as Antunes is trying to run away. Can this little Nautilus get away? It's not going to look like it. He's going to go down. A double kill going over to Hippote as a duel's going on in the mid lane. They're going on to Street Smurf. Big Trick trying to grab something right there. They grab him, and he's going to grab a kill in return onto Street Smurf.
Yeah, I mean, the action just keeps on going. You can see the Evelyn trying to trekking in, maybe looking to clean up a kill up on the side. I was thinking about it.
Oh, Kaipo. He's sitting there buying time. He has been spotted. Big Twig going in, trying to grab something. The ult goes through from Kaipo, but not enough. And now the bear comes dunking over. A new challenger approaches. And Photograph going on to Hippote. Hippote is just going to dash right out of there.
I mean, good trade kills coming in from both of these sides. I feel like Akipo could have gotten that kill with the threshold damage just a little bit below. If he'd gotten that last Q and an auto out, I'm sure the execute would have killed Big Twig. But I mean, a little bit hasty and ends up not getting that kill. But in the end, not that bad of a trade. SGR is only 1,000 gold up.
Yeah, they're starting to find it, like you said. It's up. We thought it was going to be a Kaipo, the one trying to find the player, but it's Hippote coming in with that teleport play. Absolutely fantastic. And now Dragon's up in 3, so no major objective right there. There has been a lane swap from SGR. They are now on the top side, but now they're coming mid. It looks like this might be a 4-man dive onto Big Twig. They're circling around the back like sharks looking for the prey. Big Twig trying to find his exit. I don't think he's going to get it. He's going to get onto a Kaipo, but a Kaipo's going to slay him. Street Smurf's going to take up the shot. I think they're going to try to pressure this turret down. Here comes the Herald. Shelly going to get this turret. First going to go down for this game. And SGR is pushing the pedal right now. Up now to a 3,000 gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, OOD just kind of put in a peculiar spot, not really knowing how to respond to it. But it looks like Antu's ult got canceled because of the camouflage.
Yeah, it get canceled again a second time. Now he's going forward, just trying to find something right there. He has been charmed stunned, but he does get the ult off onto Street Smurf. Now Big Twig is here. He's got the ult on the Leona. Gets 2, going straight onto Street Smurf. Street Smurf is going to go down. They're continuing forward. They stun up Frozen. Frozen getting pretty low, trying to escape, but Photograph's going to grab the kill right there. Big Twig getting even lower. Oh, but Warplaque goes forward with the flash to grab the kill. Now Photograph's trying to chase him down. He knows this guy cannot escape. Double kill for Photograph. Is now charmed up by a Kaipo, though. A Kaipo gets... not the kill, sorry. It's Warplaque grabs it onto the Volibear. And it's just a crazy fight from these teams as Django going on to Hippote. Hippote jumping back onto Django. Gets the magic shield. Trying to run.
Django's got to be careful.
Yeah, these blades are going to beat it. Scissors is indeed going to... nope, he's going to get away, I think, unless Hippote dives in right here. He is going to dive in. Django getting so low. He does. Scissors does beat Rock, but Turret beats Scissors. 1-for-1 trade in the top lane, too.
Yeah, I mean, the action just doesn't stop. The play obviously starts off with SGR making an intelligent lane swap and just kind of catching Big Twig off guard, knowing that he doesn't have flash. Gets the kill, puts down the Herald. They end up staying a little bit too long, kind of just letting Antunes just take up the space and allowing OOD to the rest of his team to follow up. And Antunes see a great solar flare from Big Twig from the stolen ultimate. And that play ends up going a 2-for-2, but I mean, in the end, it's a 3-for-3 due to the top lane skirmish.
Oops, sorry, right there. Warplaque grabs Photograph. I was going to say that Photograph did get the kill on the Warplaque to make it a 4-for-3, but now it is 4-for-4 as Warplaque, minute later, grabs the kill onto Photograph, who dives a little bit too far forward. And now, Dragon up in 36 seconds. Photograph will be up in time. You can see the rest of SGR starting to jockey for position and get vision control around this objective.
Yeah, you can see Hayate kind of just trying to aggress Django, trying to call some of that pressure, maybe even put himself in a vulnerable position to get ganked in order to bring the OOD's members up to the top side of the map so the rest of his team can get that dragon. As you can see from their positioning from the base, it looks like they're making a beeline for the dragon. That's the priority.
Yeah, this is an Ocean Drake. It isn't going to be the soul for this game. It's going to be Cloud or Infernal, but starting that soul stacking up will be quite beneficial to SGR. Django looking for somewhere. He doesn't have teleport. Hippote will have it up soon. I don't know if he'll be up in time for the fight. Warplaque trying to dash over the wall to Big Twig, but doesn't make it over. Gets the ult down. Gets a little bit of chip damage onto him. The sad bees coming out. Poor Big Twig. Just getting harassed as now SGR turns towards the Ocean Drake. The rest of OOD is here. They might try for it. Soxmus going well. Django very low there, though. He's going to have to back. That teleport is up for Hippote. The bear goes over the wall, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to have to dunk back over. And the first dragon for the side of SGR goes down. And it's going to be Infernal Soul this game.
Yeah, Soxmus doing a little bit of his best bow explode cosplay. A little bit of imposter. Hayate almost goes for the dive. Great Q cancel, but I mean, ends up getting knocked up on the E. Doesn't end up finishing it. Saying earlier, I mean, Soxmus went in for the kill, but Big Twig's getting aimed on.
Big Twig trying to do into the Kaiba. I don't know, he was trying to dash over right there. Going back in onto a Kaiba to get the heal. Gets the ult to get over the wall. Good use of that to escape. He was burning pretty hard. He's going to make it out. Soxmus, meanwhile, on the bottom side, grabs the kill onto the Leona. Let's see how this started out.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the Nautilus had just casted the ultimate up on the Lucian a little bit when they step too far forward. The cast goes all the way through despite the flash. Leona, unfortunately, is in the line of fire, gets knocked up, and I mean, just an easy pickup with that jungle being the numbered advantage right there. Good of Warplaque to notice the situation and just flash out immediately, though, to make sure that's not a 0 for 2.
Yeah, that would have been quite bad. They are going to probably lose this turret, though. It is going down pretty fast. Tristana being the ultimate shredder of turrets, unless I guess you have a Ziggs. If you had a Ziggs Tristana combo, it'd be kind of cheesy because I don't think they work well together. But imagine just that turret pushing pressure. But with the turret down, the goal lead is now under 1,500 difference right now. OD clawing themselves back into this game. I think that their team scales a little bit better into the late game. If there isn't a massive lead from the side of SGR, it's going to be problematic. So it is on SGR to put the pressure here, and they've got to get that tempo going back forward as now Django's coming up top side onto Hippote, but he is spotted out. Hippote grits the ult onto Django. Big Twig going forward, trying to grab an ult, grabs Evelyn's ult, and now Frozen going forward. He does go into Big Twig, but he's pulled over the wall. He is separated from his team. Street Smurf trying to come up and help. Django getting low too. Everyone's just going to disengage there. They've realized this is probably not worth the effort, and they're going to back off. 80 carry on the bottom side for in the terms of Warplaque. Going to try to get some pressure on this turret. Doesn't have the minion wave here, but it's the call to go for the Rift Herald. Second one here, surely, for OOD, and SGR is not even going to contest it.
Yeah, I mean, while these fights are going fairly even, you could just reflect it in the score. The one thing that SGR has been doing better is playing these waves better. You can see it with the top lane rotation, with the bot lane swapping top, and them converging onto that mid lane play to knock out that first mid. But also Street Smurf and Warplaque have been getting more golden experience by sitting in side lanes. You can see the 50 gold differential in the mid, but it looks like Street Smurf is getting run down by Soximus, but his team's not as fast as him. Street Smurf just slithers away.
Yeah, but Django is here. Is going to try to surround him. They're trying to corral this cowpoke snake, or snake poke, I guess. Django going over the wall with the ult. Bear coming over too. Gets a double stun onto Street Smurf. He is going to go down to Photograph. Photograph jumps forward, trying to grab onto Frozen. Antunes gets the hook onto him. Frozen gets the ult, but it's not going to matter. It's going to be a double kill going over to Photograph. And now the pressure going to the mid lane. Dragging out up for 2 minutes, but that could be a mid turret in their favor as Herald is dropped.
Yeah, a little bit of a overstay. It looks like a great hook from Antunes.
Yeah, they stop Hippote from getting that ult down. Photograph goes on a killing spree, grabbing him right there with the ult to knock him away. Now Kaipo has to ult to get out of there. Soximus taking up all the shots. Django on the south side coming around. Big Twig's going to die, though, as Warplaque slays him. The Shirley isn't able to live long enough to stop
behind them from the flank from Street Smurf, though.
There is Street Smurf looking for something right here. Photograph is separated on his own. He can't jump. He's in the miasma. He's going to get shut down by a Kaipo. And now the hunt is on. This snake is out for blood. She wants to get vengeance for her snake kind. The rest of OOD trying to back in that bush, but Django getting run down here by Street Smurf. Trying to grab something. The bear coming around, though. The ult onto 3 to stun them, and Django continues to run. He's just getting slowly whittled away. Antunes gets the hook onto him. I don't think that was the good idea, though, and it's going to be 2 going down. Street Smurf with a double kill for himself. OOD looked like they had it good there, but one mistake, one down mid laner, and it just turns on its head.
Yeah, I mean, Street Smurf kind of just turning water into wine from a misstep into a saving grace. Kind of plays that really poorly at the beginning during his first death by the red buff. Kind of gets his pathing is a little awkward. Django punishes that by converging onto him. Soxmus and him just jumping out as soon as he flashes into the dragon pit. What looks like a great push from OOD ends up just turning awry, and the TP from Street Smurf from the behind just turns into what we saw, just a straight double kill. And Street Smurf is just back in this game, even though he's 3 and 4. He does have a bounty on his head, and he's going to be very strong in these fights.
Yeah, he's going to be very scary. Cassiopeia scales so well in this game. I would expect she's going to try to get a Ryla's next to make it so she can chase down people with that Leandries and just kind of burn them down. Dragon coming up. First Infernal Dragon of the game. OOD is on the ball here. They are here first. 4 people. I think this is pretty much secure for them. Don't see really anyone from SGR except Frozen coming down to contest this. It goes down and immediately. And now Django and Hippote on their own up here. Django taking a little bit of a trade. Warplat coming up to try to maybe grab something here. Hippote takes a turret shot. And now it's a game of cat and mouse. Who's going to get caught first? Is going to be Django onto Hippote. It looks like it is going to be a Kaipo's coming through too. Django gets locked up, trying to get behind the minions to block it. Doesn't get to, though. A Kaipo gets the kill. And now the rest of OOD is going to have to hold back on the back line for a little bit, on the back foot for a little bit, as this Baron is going to be up in 45 seconds. Django will be up, OOD will be able to contest, but Vision could be scored right here for SGR, but it looks like they might just back out after that jungle Vision. Not getting in the river.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are in still a pretty good position, despite OOD being down 5k gold. That is spread around amongst the members, and if they get a good enough engage, I can see the likes of S or SGR just going down in a flash. If the Cassiopeia just gets bursted and the Lucian gets bursted, there's no space for the Camille to really dive. The dog pile will end up just being in the side of OOD's favor. But that being said, SGR is still in the driving seat, and they do have vision control. Depending on where they focus their pressure right now, by just shoving the lanes, pressuring the Drakes when it comes up, or the Baron even, due to the amount of damage that the Cassiopeia is able to dish out at this stage, we'll see where this game turns.
Yeah, it could turn on its head at that Baron fight. Django going down the bot side to match Hippote. A Kaipo down here too, but it's the hunt on to Street Smurf. Soximus going flying. The bear comes dunking in. Street Smurf's going to have to ult maybe soon. He does get the ult in, but not before Big Twig gets the root and gets the shutdown onto him, and now it's just Frozen. He's all here by himself. Actually, I'll take that back. Hippote and Warplack are here too, but the rest of OOD shows up. It's 3v4 right now. Make that 3v5. Photograph does come in. Hippote trying to lock someone down. Jumps forward, trying to get onto this Camille. Camille getting blasted back. 1 kill though as Django grabs the kill onto Warplack. Photograph grabs Hippote. Frozen goes down to Django as he gets a double kill. 4 for nothing in favor of OOD, and they come roaring back into this game for this Baron. But a Kaipo is around, looking to maybe stall them out. He's going to get caught out, tries to flash forward, maybe try to grab onto the Tristana, but Photograph gets the shutdown, gets the ace. That's a free Baron going over to OOD.
Yeah, I mean, that starts with Street Smurf just pushing a little bit too far. Good look from Soxmus and gang, just converge right onto him. TPs come out, but during that whole fight, you were playing a man down. Kaipo has no way of getting to the top side of the map, and you can see him try to make a heroic play by trying to finish up a kill onto the Tristana when she was low, but a quick look from Antunes and a quick assessment of the situation just locks him up and ends up dying without anything, and essentially losing 10 stacks from the Magi's.
Yeah, and he also loses the flash too, so he's not going to do a quick flash engage drive-by. And that means that it's a lot less initiation tools now. Again, Hippote doesn't have flash. He can't do his flash engage. The engage is basically coming from the Leona at this point, unless a Kaipo can weave that little charm in between. He wants to hit Photograph. He wants to hit Big Twig. But if he's just hitting Soxmus and Django, they are getting pretty beefy. Mostly armor right now. I think they should maybe start prioritizing MR at this point because Cassiopeia is here. and is in charge. And ooh, Frozen. Warplaque dodged out of the way, but he cost his support almost her life. The heal coming through to save them, and the flash ult forward grabs 1 kill. Photograph going on a killing spree right there. Django with a beautiful Malphite ultimate just rams it through there. And now Kaipo's on the backline. The mid turret, second tier turret is going to go down. They have the Baron. They're going to try to pressure onto this Nexus. This inhibitor turret. Kaipo on the backline. He's looking to be a little bit cheeky here. Gotta be careful. Is he gonna try to find something? He is spotted out. The minions reveal him. Soxmus on the path. This bear is raging. Ooh, the ult from a Kaipo gets himself out. He's gonna go over the wall, but the inhibitor is gonna go down to Big Twig. And now Hippolyte going forward. Antunes drops the ult to try to dissuade them from going any further. They're gonna try to walk out of this. They get 2 turrets, get an inhibitor, get a kill, and they get out with a 2,000 goal lead. What a massive swing for this team.
Yeah, you can see it, the late game, mid game comp from OOD really coming online. And that gold lead just kind of just swung in the favor of OOD within those last 2 fights, and you really see the difference between their comps. Whereas SGR has a more pick-based comp, and they're kind of banking on snowballing through this mid game. It's really just fallen behind OOD.
Yeah, OOD is realizing you just group up and just keep team fighting. You will eventually win this. It's hard. They might grab 1, they might grab 2, but they can't grab everybody. As now the dragon is coming up. If OOD grabs this, they will put them on soul point. Antunes looking for a hunt right there. Soxmus going on the wall. He is separated from his team. Secret Agent Bear is on the hunt. He's looking for it, and the ult coming through. He does grab. I think that was Leona's ult he grabbed. It looks like there might be a little bit of a bug there, unless suddenly Silas can grab 2 ultimates. It is the Leona ultimate. Yes, it is. So looking for that engage potential.
Yeah, a little bit of a visual bug, but it looks like OOD is kind of just relinquished rights to this dragon.
Yeah, they didn't even contest, just got the wave pushing, but now they're trying to hunt SGR. SGR trying to get away right there. The minions in the base jumping towards the Nexus turrets, trying to find something here. Soxmus going on to Frozen. They're just going to give up the support's life. The ult onto Photograph, but Photograph's going to flash to get away from there. A Kaipo is still around, and Soxmus goes on a killing spree, grabs himself Frozen. It's going to be a 4v5 in this base. They might have lost the dragon, but now, ooh, Antunes flashes.
Great hook.
Street Smurf from the edge. The ult from Street Smurf, though, going to save him temporarily, and Photograph grabs a kill there. It saves his life barely with that. Almost died in that fight from the miasma, but now it's going to be a 3v5 for this bottom outer turret. Photograph healing up on the side right here, grabbing the Gromp, gets that juicy little heal. They do spot out Hippolyte. They don't see a Kaipo. Hippolyte goes over the wall. Soxmus going forward. This bear is on the hunt. Big Twig looking for something. Doesn't hit Hippolyte. They do take the turret, but a Kaipo's on the back. He's looking to grab a kill here. They don't know he's here. He's got to be careful of that red trinket. Hippolyte going forward. Goes on to Big Twig. Big Twig gets the root down. He's looking for a Kaipo. A Kaipo, ooh, misses the E. Gonna get rooted up, though, getting the heal. Big Twig getting so low. Oh, but he back over. Hippolyte gets the kill. And now the battle is on. Soxmus goes over the wall, but there's a snake in his boots. Street Smurf trying to grab him. They do shut down Soximus, and now the rest of OOD is on the run. They're scrambling to get away. Django trying to buy some time. Photograph walks too far forward. He's going to get taunted, locked down by Hippolyte. Kaipo's going to finish him off. Antunes going to go down too. It's going to be an ace for SGR.
Yeah, you can see how that play kind of just starts off. OOD, winning that fight prior, decides to go to the ball lane, try to push their advantage, but overstay a little bit. Hippolyte gets a really nice chunk onto Big Twig, which prompts Akaigo to go in on the F1. Big Twig takes a little trade, flashes out, but unfortunately hits the blast cone. And Frozen was stalling that whole time. And with that, SGR can kind of just start this slow chase as soon as Street Smurf just comes in, because there's not much damage left in the Photograph. And as soon as he gets jumped on by this Camille, the fight is basically over.
Yeah, it feels like he could have just easily gotten out of there, but he turns around, gets in range of Hippolyte for the ultimate. Doesn't know Kaipo's on the side. They rip that up right there, and there's no big objective on the map. They are losing their Nexus turret right now on the side of SGR. It is getting pretty low. They're not going to lose it. Hippolyte is here to stop that, but the March is going down bottom lane. They're trying to grab this bottom second-tier turret. It's gonna go down probably before anyone can even respond here. Big Twig is back up. They're not gonna be able to push any further than this, but SGR is keeping this game close. They have regained the gold lead. They are trying to still grab victory in this game, and Big Twig goes for it on the Frozen, but he didn't know Street Smurf was still there. He gets ulted, and he goes down. Frozen's going to grab the kill. Big Twig, brother Big Twig is playing for SGR right now.
Yeah, it kind of hands that one over for free. Socksmith standing around like, what just happened? But I mean, we'll see where it plays out from here. I want to see SGR kind of just play for the Baron. I don't think this game will end up going to Soul Point unless OOD can delay it. And SGR's comp will kind of fall off towards the later stages of the game. They have comeback potential with the way that they're playing and the mistakes that OOD are making. But I mean, I feel like to accelerate the game state into a win, SGR needs to bait out a Baron fight and take it, or they just need to sneak it entirely.
Yeah, they've got to be either really sneaky about this, but Frozen is on his own. The teleport, I think, revealing that the rest of the team is there. Frozen's going to back off. Big Twig is here, and the Baron is live. Minute 50 also up on the Dragon right now. So maybe going to start this up. It looks like they're looking for a possible pick here, hoping someone goes after this ward. Being super sneaky. The Fnatic Bush could work out for OOD. They're waiting. They're waiting. They're still waiting. And I don't know, their patience is done. They're just going to start pushing this mid lane. They realize no one's coming for this. As bottom inhibitor turret is getting pushed, there is no one down there to kind of contest it. Hippote could teleport, but if he does, it's almost guaranteed the start of the Baron for OOD. They can clear that really fast and then go back and grab the turret. Or save the turret, or at least the inhibitor. Django goes back. He's saving it right now. There isn't too much vision on the side of OOD. They've got the one red trinket in the bush. And Leona gets grabbed by Big Twig, clearing out some vision. And it's kind of just a dance of who's going to make the the blunder to start the Baron first. Or if it even gets started at all, that Infernal is coming up soon. Could put either of these teams on Soul Point. That would be pretty good for them. But it is going to be OOD starting at the Baron. They don't see that ward in the back of the pit. The pink ward and the red ward is not far enough yet. Django is teleporting in. He's going to try to dissuade them. Kaipo looking to maybe get over this wall. Malphite is here, going to go over, but doesn't get to steal it. Has to flashes over to ult it. But Socksmith grabs the Baron. They are going to get out with that. And now they're going to back reset for this Dragon in 20 seconds. Socksmith maybe looking for something right here. They decide actually against the back. They didn't really burn anything there. There is no ult from a Kaipo this time, so he's not going to be able to get that execution in this fight. They do hit onto a Pate. Socksmith on the run. The rest of SGR is here, and the ult comes in from the Malphite. They're jumping in. They take one. They take the Evelyn down. Now Socksmith jumps up two. They're trying to blast away two of them. It's a kind of a scattered fight right now. Socksmith's trying to grab him right here. Warplaque going down. He's going to grab one, grab two for this side of SGR. They take out Socksmith too, but Django takes down Warplaque, and now Antunes is going to fall to a Pate. Frozen getting low. Is he going to be able to grab it? He is not. He's going to go golden. Meanwhile, though, Photographs is pushing. He's just given up on this fight entirely. He's trying to make a rush towards the inhibitor, and I think SGR is going to have to entirely back. I don't know if they can contest this Dragon. It looks like Cass is going to do it on her own. The inhibitor, though, will be traded, giving OOD some breathing room with this Baron. Unfortunate team fight. It looks so good at the start, but OOD just kind of collapses, gets a little scattered, and goes in every direction. Oh, actually, they're looking for Photograph. Photograph gets away. I think that's Gorilla Photograph doing the guerrilla tactics, dodging through the river. Secret Agent Photograph is out, boys. And now we play the waiting game. Next objective isn't going to be up for at least 4.5 minutes for either of these teams. SGR is on Soul Point right now. If they get that next Infernal, this could really keep them in this game, even past their scaling point. That fire will burn quite hard.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great engage from Team OOD. You got the Malphite. It was a great look, instantaneous. I don't think all of OOD was on the same page, though. You could see Photograph wasn't really in auto attack range. The first person that is stuck there when the Malphite ultimate and the Leona from the Malphite ultimate probably should have been dead, but not being able to dish out enough damage, not being in the right spot was due to as a reason for that. And the first person doesn't go down. Hayate kind of just jumps on. Looks like Socksmith's in a little bit of trouble here. A little bit of a zoning out from Warplague.
Yeah, and now Tune's looking for Hippote right there. The teleport coming in. They're trying to burst him down as quickly as they can. Ult gets blasting out. Soximus goes forward. The bear looking for something right here, but he's getting so low. He's going to go down, and now it's going to be photographed too. This is a disaster for OOD. Lose 2, lose 3, lose 4, and now Django's on the run. He's got to get out of here. Is it Django unchained or Django brought down? It's looking like Django's going to be brought down. He ults to get away. Hipate's going to chase him down though with the E. It's going to be an ace for SGR.
I mean, it's heartbreak for OOD. Lost team fight after lost team fight. I think Photograph was a little bit hasty, thinking he could kill him with the threshold of the E and the ultimate on Hayate, but I mean, Hippolyte ends up going down. Just ulting Hippolyte down to safety, and he just wreaks havoc on the rest of the team once he re-enters that fight.
Yeah, and it's looking pretty rough right now for OOD. The fights are getting a little bit or less close every single time. The first one they won, and they did another, and it was just an accident. So then they do a fight around Dragon. They get some early kills, but they lose it. And now they're just losing fights in their entirety. They've got to find a way to get back into this. They've got to find a pick. Maybe Antunes can grab a Kaipo here. Baron is up in 2.5 minutes, but SGR is just going to clear the jungle and back up, leave nothing for OOD.
Yeah, I mean, what OOD's comp excels at is engage and CC, and having this front line for this Tristana. But if this Tristana isn't dishing out damage, not in the right spot, as you can see in that last fight, they landed at least 3 CC abilities onto the Camille, but due to her tankiness and the health from her items, the Starax, the Divine, the Titanic, she has well over 2,500 HP, and Tristana just can't dish out enough damage to kill her in time. And as soon as that happens, the Tristana is your only damage dealer, and you're just throwing rocks basically at paper, and there's nothing going to happen. SGR is just going to roll you over considering how much damage they have. 4 members essentially have damage, while only 1 member on OOD has damage.
Yeah, I mean, Big Twig also has some damage too, to be fair, but it's not as like consistent DPS. It's very bursty. I mean, he does have the attack speed from his passive, but that's not going to be really enough to keep him going. He's got to wait for those cooldowns to come through. And like you said, like they haven't been able to burst him down. They do have the damage to mostly burst. It's just the shields coming through. It's the it's that called the Sterix coming through. It's a Guardian Angel. It's the Locket from the Leona. They're just getting so much shielding to keep themselves alive. And now OOD trying to push this mid lane. Kaipo on the back line looking for something. He's trying to grab this Silas, I think. Big Tweak is teleporting in. It's a fight breaking on the mid lane. Antunes looking to grab something. Soximus goes in to try to buy them some time. They're looking for a kill maybe onto Hippolyte, but he is not going down yet. Photograph goes down. I think that's the end of the fight there. Antunes is going to go down to Django looking for something. They're trying to grab one. It's a double kill onto Django from a Kaipo, and Soximus is on the run. Warplack goes on a killing spree, takes out Big Twig. Soximus is not going to get away. It's bear hunting season right now. No picnic basket for you, Yogi, as SGR continues the push. This is going to be game, I think, for this team.
Yeah, I mean, a Kaipo sneaking in behind the red jungle. Photograph not really expecting him, but looks like Soximus is trying to delay the wave.
He
not
is.
Sure if there's a minion. Still,
there is actually a minion for. They're taking for it. Oh, Warplack goes down to the turret, tanks it for his team, and now they're going to end this game. SGR takes the win over OD in a very back and forth game.
Yeah, I mean, that game was very back and forth. A lot of skirmishing, a lot of fight, a lot of split decision making that really just made the difference. In that last fight, you really saw Kaipo snuck in behind the red, Photograph not expecting him behind there, and just ends up taking him down. They're one damage dealer, and with him down, the fight's essentially over.
Yeah, if you don't have Photograph, there's really nothing else you can do. Sure, there's, the damage from the burst of Soximus Malphite, and you've got Big Twig bidding out something, but it's not the same. They can't break through this line. And I got to see the damage numbers. This I really want to say it was the Cass, but it was the Cass, it was the Camille, it was the Lucian, it was everybody just putting up big numbers on this squad. And like you said, Photograph was the major damage source. Without them, it just all fell apart.
Yeah, you can see the Silas trying his best, but I mean, it's just relegated to a control mage at that point. The control mage with less damage. And Street Smurf really just basically doubling his damage. Despite getting caught in a couple of situations, he's in these fights, he's still able to dish out damage and make the difference.
Yeah, and we didn't really see Big Twig, especially mostly in the later fights, grab the Cass ultimate. Yeah, look at all that objective damage from the Tristana. But we didn't see him grab the castle. I kept grabbing the Leona, kept grabbing the Camille and the Evelyn ult, but I feel like if he'd gotten the castle, it might have turned that whole thing around. Might have been able to just get the 4-man stun, quickly burn through that target so that just kept dodging from them, but they just never found it.
Yeah, I looked more at the fact he was kind of picking up ultimates since where the F1 is good for the execute. And in theory, it's a good idea because it does do more damage. But if people aren't below that threshold, you're not going to be doing that much damage.
Indeed, yeah, you've got to break that threshold if you want to put any sort of challenge up there. But now with that win, SGR moves into a tie with OOD for third place, a 3-way tie between them, OOD, and Ace. And yeah, it's getting really exciting here in the Mythic League. There's teams still jockeying for position around there, around the middle of the pack, trying to find playoff spots. Right now, it's looking very much like Tub is going to take first place, and these teams are trying to jockey because no one wants to get in the position to end up having to play them.
I most definitely agree with that. I would not want to be facing Tub in the first bracket.
Yes, indeed. Well, with that, we're going to call it today on that, but don't go anywhere. We've got an interview with Street Smurf coming right after this.
Hello, folks. Chris Edgeworth with the final interview of the day. I'm joined by Street Smurf after the big win for SGR Reborn. How you feeling after the win?
Doing really good, but I'm not really, how do you say it? I'm not really, proud of my performance. But yeah, I'm proud of my team.
Well, you guys definitely had to pull together in the middle of the game. You know, it was kind of tight. I want to ask you about the game in a second. Talk to me a little bit about the draft plan coming into this game. For people who are unfamiliar with the history of the league, you were known for your terrorizing Rise and Cassio back in the day, and so we pull the patented Street Smurf Cassio out of the back pocket. You also have the AP jungle come out with the Evelyn pick. Talk to me about this draft.
Okay, so first of all, yeah, I used to play Ryze and Cassiopeia, but I don't think that Ryze is good for the moment, which is the reason why I didn't play it yet. But yeah, for the Cassiopeia pick, I don't think I should have picked it today, but I definitely picked it because it was like one of my most played champions. And for the Evelyn, I would say that our jungler is like most confident champion besides Viego, and we didn't really plan on playing this champion today. It's just about confidence.
Well, you definitely gave Kaipo, if I'm saying that right, the space to succeed on that champion. You know, comfort is certainly one thing, but it takes a lot of execution. I got dicey there for a second when the Magi stacks got knocked off there, but managed to get them back through the middle of the game, which is what I wanted to talk about next. You told me in the break that you didn't feel super great about your performance today. It was kind of dicey through the middle of the game, and then it sort of snapped into place for you guys. How did it feel going through this game, and when did you feel like you had taken control of the game?
Yeah, well, I would say most of it is like when we were playing like kind of bad in the middle of the game. I would say that it was partially about me. Like there's sometimes I could have like survived when it was obvious they would like try to kill me, and we were like falling off mostly because of me, and I know about it. But in the end, we just like fought together and we just played better as a team, I would say.
Well, it's one thing that I want to ask you about. Being that you are known for your Cassio, and you're talking about how you felt like you could have survived in some different spots. The item difference this season, you have the Archangels, but it doesn't do the same thing as last season. How do you feel about how Cassiopeia is standing up in Season 11 with the new item changes?
Well, I think she's worse than last season, but she's still strong. Like every champions that you play good will be good, but let's say besides Victor, I would always like blind pick this champion over Cassiopeia in every situation. Like I don't think that the items on Cassiopeia like really fit the champion this season, unless like they buff the items on like the mages. But for the moment, she's definitely like not one of my favorite champions.
Yeah, the mage itemization is pretty lacking this season. I feel like it leaves a lot of mages that don't thrive with the things that are available now are just totally left out in the cold in certain regards. Let's move into a discussion about SGR in the league. So with this win, you actually managed to tie up against the team you just beat, Udyr, in third place. You have Pog and Tub ahead of you. How do you feel about your trajectory in the league going forward?
I would say that for the moment, I'm still confident we'll be the best team in the league, because I would say like every time we lost, it was like a good part of it was because I played not really good or bad, and I think once I play like at my form, we can succeed even greater.
Well, the rest of the teams in the league better watch out in case that happens. Good luck with the rest of the season, Street Smurf. Thank you for joining us for an interview. Do you have any final thoughts before we go to the lounge?
Not really. I would say good luck, have fun.
All right. Well, good luck. And folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the FOF Lounge.